All right, today we're diving into a story about a girl who calls herself an agent of chaos. And honestly, she's not wrong. This is someone who literally hacked her own orphanage file just to put herself on a do not adopt list. It is a wild, wild tale of rebellion, revenge, and the absolutely bizarre ways a family can come together.
And there she is, our protagonist, Denise, in her own words. Right from the jump, she's making one thing crystal clear. She is not some victim waiting for a family to save her. No, she's the one calling the shots.
So let's get into it. Let's try to understand the world that Denise built for herself, because this is not just a story about an orphan. It's about someone who took control and actively shaped her own destiny inside the system, for better and, as you'll see, definitely for worse.
And when I say she embraced this agent of chaos thing, I mean she really embraced it. We're not talking about small-time pranks here. She turned all the shampoo in the orphanage pink, telling the staff they looked like they were about to drop the hottest K-pop album. She had the other kids convinced she could be summoned in a mirror like some kind of horror movie monster. And get this, for any potential adopters, she'd greet them with blood, sometimes fake, sometimes real, just to watch them scramble out the door.
So yeah, this is pretty much how the adults in her life saw her. A brand new social worker comes in, all hopeful, and is immediately told by a veteran colleague, "That's not a little girl, that's the Antichrist." A nickname, by the way, that Denise absolutely cherished.
So eventually, she gets tired of all these families trying to give her a better life. She decides to take matters into her own hands. She actually hacks into the orphanage's computer system, changes her status to already adopted, and adds a little note for good measure, do not disturb. She literally made herself unadoptable, all while dreaming that her real parents, who she was convinced were some kind of criminal masterminds, would one day come and bust her out.
Okay, so fast forward a few years. Denise is 17, and she finally gets a lead on her parents. But the reality she finds, oh man, it is not the team of super spies and master thieves she had been picturing all these years.
So she's in the director's office trying to swap his stress medication with laxatives, as one does, when she stumbles upon a hidden room full of old records. Her file is this massive scrapbook of all her greatest hits, just complaint forms and angry letters. But tucked inside, she finds two names and an address, Carmen and Henry Blandon. So she hitchhikes her way over there, and what she finds is just painfully normal. A perfect suburban house with a perfectly manicured lawn, a mom wearing mom jeans, a dad who genuinely looks like he gets a thrill from doing his taxes, and a little sister, Andrea, complete with a unicorn backpack. This was not the epic criminal reunion she had in mind.
The thing that really pushed her over the edge was hearing her dad get excited about something he called Blandine's Day, and talk about removing a mole he'd named Gary. It was just too much. They weren't just ordinary, they were painfully, unbelievably lame. And in that moment, seeing this happy, perfect, boring family she never got to have, her mission changed. It wasn't about a reunion anymore. It was about revenge.
And this, right here, is where things get diabolical. If she was going to tear down their perfect little fairy tale life, she decided she would do it from the inside out. And she was going to use their biggest weakness against them, their perfect little princess, Andrea. Her strategy was as simple as it was evil. Step 1, get inside the house. To do that, she had to become Andrea's hero. Step 3, systematically corrupt her, turn their little angel into a little demon. And the final step, just sit back and watch their whole world burn to the ground.
I mean, look at the contrast here. You've got Denise, the street-smart agent of chaos, and on the other side, Andrea, the polite, naive unicorn princess. For Denise, this wasn't a sister. This was a blank canvas, and she was about to repaint Andrea in her own chaotic image. And man, the transformation was fast. Andrea started idolizing Denise after she saved her from some bullies, so she was a pretty easy target. But here's the genius part of the plan. While Andrea was becoming more and more rebellious, Denise was playing the part of the perfect, sweet, helpful daughter. The parents never saw it coming. She did it with little suggestions like this, just planting these tiny seeds of rebellion. She told Andrea it was okay to admit she hated her mom's broccoli casserole because, let's be real, it tasted like wet socks. Little by little, she gave Andrea permission to stop being so perfect. And Andrea, well, she took that permission and ran with it. So, the plan is working perfectly. The family is a mess, Andrea is now a fire-breathing, chaos-spreading dragon, and Denise is the perfect angel daughter. But you know how it is with revenge. Sometimes victory doesn't taste quite as sweet as you thought it would.
This was the grand finale, the final blow. After Denise convinced Andrea it was time to blow it all up, Andrea goes with her dad to his office. She sets off fire alarms, hijacks the speaker system to blast Baby Shark on repeat, and then the masterstroke. She records the CEO going on an angry rant, uploads it to the entire company's Slack channel, and gets her own father fired.
The plan was a complete, devastating success. The family's financial security, gone. Mr. Blandon comes home carrying his entire career in a single cardboard box. Denise had won.
But instead of feeling triumphant, she just feels guilty. Seeing her parents completely broken, she realizes she's hurt Andrea too. She goes to confess everything, but finds an empty room and an open window. Andrea's gone. She's run away. And then her parents hit her with another bombshell. We can't lose her too.
And that's when the whole truth finally spills out. They explained they were just kids when they had her, broke and with no support. They left her at the orphanage, but they always intended to come back for her as soon as they could. And they did. They went back to get her.
And there it is, the gut punch. The reason they never came back for her was because the system that she had hacked, told them she was already adopted and that her file had a weird note on it, something like, "Do not disturb." Her own masterpiece of teenage rebellion was the one thing that kept her from her family.
Just completely overwhelmed, Denise runs, but she knows she has to find Andrea first. And thinking like her newly corrupted sister, she has a pretty good idea of where a wannabe rebel runaway might go. Right back to the orphanage.
But when she gets to the orphanage, the final twist of this whole crazy story comes out. Andrea wasn't some naive little pawn. Turns out, she had found Denise's old orphanage file weeks ago. She knew exactly who Denise was the entire time.
Andrea explains that she wasn't corrupted. She was a willing co-conspirator. Finding that file made her furious with their parents. Furious that they'd abandoned Denise, and furious that they never told her she had a sister. She thought Denise's anger was totally justified, and honestly, she wanted to be just like this bold, fearless older sister she just discovered. Their whole revenge plot was really just a twisted, chaotic way for them to bond.
So in the end, you have these two sisters who found each other and a family that was shattered and then kind of sort of put back together, all through this massive explosion of chaos and revenge. Denise wasn't just corrupting a sister, she was finding her only ally. Which leaves us with the big question, right? Now that the war is over and all the secrets are out, can this family, which was basically forged in a fire, ever really find peace?